Judkins not on the injury report and is ready to go for week number 10. Judkins ready to rumble for
stock on the rise.
Week number 10. CJ Stroud is out. Kyler Murray on IR.
Stock on decline.
Which means Jacoby Brissett
stock on the rise.
Is on the rise, which means that MHJ is on the rise. Bucky Irving, total question mark. As we've talked about all week, there hasn't been any news. No news isn't exactly good news. Doesn't mean he's out more than one more game, but it is trending more and more likely that he misses week 10 and has one more game off as he prepares to absorb some contact. And that's really the issue, I think. We've got all this and more, especially the Judkins news, which is fantastic. The Fantasy Football Show Breaking News Edition begins right now. File on in.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
What have I told you all week long about Judkins? Buy him. Don't worry about the shoulder injury. He's good to go for week number 10. Off the injury report, and it is definitely a league-winning acquisition if you've been buying this guy on the cheap. On the left side of the board are the buy lows, some of them. We had London and Lamar also that were fantastic buy lows. Week 9 absolute smashes, and some of them carry over to week 10 on the right side of the board. And I also have kind of a more of a ranking of the RB specifically. Not that Bijan Gibbs or Cook or HN or JT are pennies on the dollar, but they've all kind of struggled from time to time, or at least HN and Cook you can get a little cheaper than you should. Bijan Gibbs, JT all having a bad week in week number 9. Fickle Freddy's out there might pull the trigger on a deal they shouldn't pull. Not that they're completely free, not that they're cheap, not that you're going to go rake someone over the coals, but Bijan Gibbs and JT were untouchable walking into week 9. They're now able to be had for the right price heading into week 10. Understand what I'm saying. No one's trading Bijan, Smitty. Nobody was trading Bijan Gibbs or JT. Now they might. That is the point. That is the takeaway. Henry, Genty, Barkley, Judkins, Bucky, Dowdle, Jacobs, Harvey, Hendy, Chase Brown, Javante, all good buy lows or even buys, medium rare, whatever. Now Bucky is the one player we've talked about. Let's go to Bucky real quick, then we might come back to Judkins. But Bucky's the one player that I've continued to tell you, if you have him, trade him for Dowdle, for Henry, for Barkley. Do some sort of creative, safe maneuver. If you don't have Bucky, go buy him from the owner that's thinking the same thing that you're thinking if you own Bucky. You're upset right now. I can't tell you how many people say bust in the chat right now. I've seen 4 or 5 Bucky's a bust, Bucky. Look how many people are upset and freaking out about Bucky because they hung on to him instead of trading him for a safer option, and they're ready to get out. The people writing Bucky is a bust in the chat, they're not patient Peters. They're going to get rid of Bucky. They're ready to sell him right now. This news today that he's not back, he's not practicing, he's not taking hits, makes them want to get rid of Bucky. Now, for those of you, and even if you have Bucky in some leagues and not in others, those of you that don't have Bucky or those of you that don't have him in a certain league, now go take him for pennies on the dollar from the owner that has Bucky Irving. Bucky's going to be back. The reports are he hasn't taken contact yet, etc., etc. Not, oh, this thing went awry and he's going on IR. Like, you got to be able to read the tea leaves here. The tea leaves are everything's trending upward. It's just taking a very slow and long amount of time. And he hasn't taken contact yet. They don't want him going out there and getting hurt. You should have been selling Bucky, like I've been saying for the last week and a half, 2 weeks. And you should be buying Bucky, like I've said for the last week, 2.5 weeks. It goes both ways. It depends on the perspective that you enter the equation from. If you enter the equation from not owning Bucky, you go get him. Now, let's head back to Judkins real quickly because we don't have much on Bucky. Judkins off the injury report. The shoulder's good to go. It was an AC joint sprain, just a minor, almost less than grade 1. They enough to worry about, and then he had a bye week, which was beautifully placed right right when we needed it. And same thing with Barkley. Bye week in week 9. Beautifully placed for both these monsters. Judkins now is going to go on a tear and win leagues from a 6-10 running back, probably scoring, slotting. And he might be top 5, might be number 3 or 2 one week and then number 7 one week. But he's a 6-10 running back that you just got via trade for 2 weeks straight. 2 weeks straight, we were able to buy this guy Judkins at value you shouldn't have been able to buy him at. Judkins is now positioned one of the best running back buy low according to the video we did. This is the board. Best buy low running back with the ambiguity around his shoulder, which is now out of play. Buy low on Judkins is done. It's done. Congratulations for people who struck gold.
You've just been Smitty approved.
I smell meatloaf. Hey, Ma, the meatloaf.
Let's go, mashed potatoes.
Yeah, buddy. Judkins season is in full effect. Let's head on over to the next man we must discuss today. Kyler Murray going on IR. He was out 4 to 8 weeks prior to this news report, so it's not like this news is anything crazy, but this is from his head coach, his incompetent head coach. And I'm an Arizona Cardinal fan. I live in Arizona. I have every right to speak about my team this way. So if anybody's like, oh, this guy's talking bad about the Cardinals, I'm a Cardinal fan. I can do whatever I want. Not to mention that we don't even let that affect. This show doesn't even affect. I don't let anything affect my fantasy football takes. I'm not even a fan when I'm on this show. I don't have Cardinal fandom. I don't have loyalties to any team. I don't even remember I'm a Cardinal fan really when I'm inside this mindset. And honestly, to be completely frank with you, when you do what I do, it dilutes it really any strong fandom you have. I can't have it. You can't bring it into this situation. It's kind of like they say, if you study religion in college, you become less religious, or you become a person that doesn't have any, like there's such a danger in getting too close to something that you love. And I'm not saying I don't love the fantasy football angle. It actually replaces the void that you get from not being able to be quite the fan you used to. But I do this day in, day out, multiple times a day, sometimes live like yesterday, 5 straight live streams. I don't have time to be a fan. I'm here to report the news. I'm here to do this from a fantasy football perspective. And I got to tell you though, the bit of fandom that's still left in my bones is pretty much down to a bare minimum, because watching this team just fumble the bag every single time. When we had Kurt Warner here in Arizona, we should have had a championship, but we didn't. The Cardinals can never close. Suns have a great team, it seems like, year in and year out. They can never close. Arizona teams just can't close. And when you put an incompetent guy like this in charge of a pretty damn good football team, by the way, the Cardinals are dogs. Cardinals have been dogs for years. They can win tough games. They always seem to be a team that other teams greatly respect. Like, these guys are scrappy. This guy doesn't know what he's doing. This guy's incompetent. Gannon doesn't know how to coach. Gannon goes up to the podium as if he's an intern and starts talking about nothing's changed with Kyler Murray. And then he finds out that Kyler Murray's probably out 4 to 8 weeks. Then he's like, yeah, I would have probably put Brissett in anyway after you just said you weren't going to. Then you start talking like Brissett's going to be the starter no matter what. And then you start talking about Kyler that needs to get back to playing football, and you're going to put him on IR for his own sake. Well, let me tell you what's really going on here. This guy's flying by the seat of his pants. He doesn't know what in the hell he's doing. And he doesn't even realize that Brissett's a better quarterback than Kyler anyway. And that if Kyler could play and was healthy enough to play, this man, this incompetent coach, would start Kyler Murray over Brissett even after the brisket did what he did in week number 9. He's so incompetent. This guy should be without a job. He's not a serious head coach. He's not a serious person. And he doesn't know football. Plain and simple. But good news, ladies and gentlemen, this man was to miss 4 to 8 weeks anyway. He's going on IR. It's news because he wasn't on IR. But at the end of the day, he was not going to be used for well over 4 weeks. He's out 4 to 8 weeks to get fully healthy. But what's nice about this is there's no more talk about what if Kyler comes back a little early? What if 3 weeks from now he's hurt? Now we get the briskinator for a full 4 weeks. Let's see what he can do. I love what he's going to do. He seems to be rising the value of MHJ up by the day. MHJ's playing football right now. MHJ's running routes. MHJ's running second chance routes. Brissett's able to find him and locate him above the offensive line. MHJ could either get the ball one or two ways from Kyler because Kyler can't see over the offensive line. It's like looking over 6-foot oleanders at 5 foot. And you're like this. Is MHJ out there somewhere? I don't know. I'm going to run this way, and I'm going to see if maybe McBride's downstream a little bit. That's the way MHJ played ball. No ability to catch every single pass. No ability to execute his route tree, because if he did, the football wasn't coming. But now Brissett is going to audible. Brissett is going to impromptu. Brissett is going to go through his checkdowns, and Brissett's going to find MHJ to the tune of 6 to 7 to 8 targets a game. MHJ is on the rise. Brissett is on the rise. The Cardinals are on the rise, whether Gannon's trying to pull them down like a dead weight, and the dead weight that he is. But Kyler Murray on IR, fantastic news for everybody involved, including this man that doesn't know what he's doing. We've got CJ Stroud out with the head injury. Not great for Nico, but we'll see what happens. Davis Mills comes in. Look, Nico's had success without Stroud before, though. So this is one of those players in Nico that can continue to do well no matter what's kind of going on around him. Is he kind of like Jamar Chase without Burrow? I would say if we take Flacco out, like Jamar Chase with Browning, it was like, okay, you're going to try to get to 100 yards. You're not expecting touchdowns, but that might be kind of what we expect out of Nico, but I still buy Nico on the cheap. I think Nico's a very good buy low right now. He remains to be one of the better buy lows heading into week number 10. And I think this might even make it in some of your trade deadlines are this weekend. But if you have the trade deadline next week, this contest being probably pretty good for him, but maybe not explosive as normal, could give you another week if you're unable to execute a trade and his owner sits on him for another week and it's like, yeah, never mind. I think I am out on Nico. But a lot of you have your trade deadlines this week, so you got to act now. This board needs to be acted upon now. Good luck trying to get Judkins. Tried to warn you. Judkins is probably out of play, off the injury report, ready to go. Good luck getting some of these guys. They're still available. Adunze's a very nice wide receiver if you need to get a guy. Baker Mayfield, probably the most underrated top 6 to 10 quarterback. JJ, probably the most underrated top 5 wide receiver. Barkley, his value went up, but he's still fantastic. Harvey, love him. Hendy, still buy low. His usage went up tremendously, and people are complaining left and right. Lamb, people are scared of Lamb. Buka, people are scared of Buka. People are scared of Nico. People are scared of Bucky, as they should be. And that's why buying low on Bucky is amazing. That's why selling Bucky for Henry, Rico, Barkley, and Dowdle was advised. Now, Dowdle also, just so you know, Dowdle is also looking at potentially this quad, keeping him out a week, but it doesn't seem like, I would say it's more 65% likely Dowdle plays through the quad, and this is just a maintenance rest, get him as healthy as possible. And it's Wednesday. Who cares about this stuff right now? Thursday and Friday is when we really kind of know. So Wednesday, pretty much the entire NFL takes off. So nobody should be saying, oh, Dowdle sat out. He was limited today. Everybody's limited today. There is a chance that the quad gets worse or something. But I'd say, actually, I'm going to raise it up to 70% likely, maybe 75%. That Dowdle plays week number 10. I don't think this is an issue at all. Dowdle is, with the limited tag today, is probably the cheapest he will be moving forward, and he just went up in value because we told you he was going to do what he did in week 9. We told you, and Dowdle's here to stay. I don't know what his future holds. He's 27, be 28 in June next year. Dynasty's a different conversation. 2026 is a different conversation. But in 2025, Dowdle might be a top 5 running back. The rest of the season, we're looking at Dowdle dropping loads every single week, week in, week out. Good luck buying him low. Try and use the news today that he's limited, which really doesn't mean anything. Try and use it to your advantage. I said CJ Stroud was out. I just talked about that. We've got Kyler, Judkins. Okay, I think we covered everything. Bucky again is an unknown, but a reason you should have been trading him. Injury to watch. This is what Rappaport said about Rico. Canales and on Rico says that he's being smart with it. We're counting on him this weekend. So that's why I say it's very much like a 75% chance everything is good. It would be a setback of some kind that could potentially take Rico out for week number 10, and I don't expect that to be the case. Matta with the $20 hauler. Matta, one of the longest followers I have back in the 2000, maybe 8, 2009 is maybe when Matta started following the written content that I produce. Matta and Silver, like the two longest running followers I have. Back when I posted this in 28. Now someone asked me a question. Smitty, you've been doing this for over 2 decades, but why did you say this is my first video in 2018 with Derrick Henry? Because I didn't do YouTube till 2018, but I'd done written content and done it professionally, radio. But this was my first ever video. And when people say I hate Derrick Henry, they don't know, because I was the highest YouTube content creator on Derrick Henry or Instagram content creator in the space in 2018, because people were cutting the man. And everybody was asking me, everybody.
Someone asked me today, what player comes to mind as far as like a rags to riches player, a player that can go from a flex or running back 3 or running back 4 type of area all the way up to being a top 5 to 10 running back.
Don't mind my voice.
Moving forward. And the one player that comes to mind is Derrick Henry. I think Derrick Henry had that appeal heading into the 2018 fantasy football season until the Tennessee Titans acquired Dion Lewis. And I think that everybody's kind of forgetting the upside that he has if he's getting starter carries. Now, will he is tough to say. That's what makes him kind of a risk in entering the next few weeks. But I think that of any player in the entire league, he is one guy I would not drop or recommend dropping in redraft.
Everybody, people have been asking. What do I say?
Someone asked me today, what player comes to mind as far as like a rap?
Someone asked me today. One of my 3 followers asked me today. It was Silver and Matta. One of the two. Actually, Matta, are you the one? Are you the one? Maybe I mixed it up my Mattas. I think there's 2 Mattas. But I think this is the Matta that's been with me since 2018. Maybe not. I'm not sure. Matta, is that you? $20 hauler. Appreciate you with the 20 wad, my boy.
Alert. Super chat alert.
4 and 5, 12-team redraft, non-PPR, 1 QB, 2 running back, 3 wide receiver, 1 tight end, 1 flex. Mahomes, Dart, Gibbs, Marks, JCM, Harvey, Gainwell, Jamar, Rice, Nico, Hunter. Love the team. Bowers, fantastic. Loveland. He offered his JJ and Kamara for my Nico and Dart. I would definitely take that in a 1 QB for sure. 100%. And I'd even go as far as to say you might want to consider Loveland and maybe a, Harvey Loveland, Marks Loveland, JCM Loveland, whatever, to just get a tiny running back upgrade. Just a little itty bitty one, but 100% Smitty approved that trade. 100%.
You've just been Smitty.
So everybody's been dying to ask me. I mean, people are waiting in line outside of the studio right now, dying to ask me, I mean, maybe they aren't, but they probably should be outside dying to ask me. Mike says, will Bucky Irving play football again? Mike, you've heard my response on that. I went on a 10-15 minute tirade on it. Thank you for the super chat. Of course he is. Judkins and Olave for CD and Benson. Give me CD and Benson, but I do love Judkins near this much. I mean, that's how much I love Judkins moving forward, but I'm taking CD, no question. Since Stafford and ETN for Mahomes, Smitty approved. I like, it depends on the situation. In a vacuum, yes, I like this. But there's a world where I need a running back. ETN and Stafford is pretty good. Stafford's pretty good, bro. Stafford's like 6 to 10. Hampton taking my IR spot, have Dart, drop Kyler. I'm fine with that. I mean, even if you had Kyler, do you trust him to play him if he's even playing? So, yeah, I'm fine with that. My haul for AJB and Manungai. I think I'm okay with this trade. I like Hall, but I'm worried about his situation. I'm worried about the Jets falling apart. I do like Hall a lot. I do love Breece Hall. But I think if you need two players, specifically a wide receiver, then I think this could work. You then try and flip A.J. Brown. I'd even try and flip A.J. Brown and Monungai for one more player, say for Rico, Henry, Barkley, and try and just flip Hall for that when you maybe couldn't trade Hall for that straight up, but you could do it with this package. If you don't need A.J. Brown, then I wouldn't make this trade, and I'd probably sit on the Breece Hall value. Need one wide receiver, one flex. Tez, Watson, Slayton, Theo. I'd probably say Tez. I have a feeling Tez could come back to life a little bit this week, but that's a close call. I dropped Parker Washington and grabbed A.D. Mitchell off waivers. Maybe. Yeah, I'm fine with that. I don't think either one is for sure to do anything, but other wide receivers, Booker, Rice, Hunter, Burden. Yeah, I don't mind that. I think it's okay. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I would say that, it's not like something that, I like DK more. So hopefully, you don't have to use him, but, he's not bad. Superflex Dynasty 12 team, Scat or Benson and Pollard. I'd rather have Scat. I think Scat has a chance. His surgery went really well. We said there was a chance that he has just the right injury, and he is young, that he could come back. I don't know that we're going to see him fully healthy and even ever back to what he could have been, but maybe he compensates. He gets more intelligent about how he runs. He's still going to have a lot of upper body strength, and there's ways to be as good, even if you maybe have some limitations. But I think within 2 or 3 years, he could potentially get back to full strength, given the nature of his specific injury, which he got very lucky. It was fantastic how it ended up coming together for him. Would you do accept Collins and Addison for Alec and Lamar? He offered me only Collins for Lamar, but I want to try more. Backup is Drake May. Okay, so in a 1 QB, you're getting Collins and Addison for Lamar. I love that. I mean, I'd take Nico for Lamar straight up if I've already got Drake May, because you're drafting Collins ahead of Lamar. So, but if you can get Addy in that as well, that's great. Josh Allen owner wants Knicks and Higgins. I'd take, especially if you're stacked, I'd take Josh Allen in a millisecond, bro. He's a league winner. Go do that and do that live. He's a buy low for a reason, bro. He's a buy low, and he still qualifies on this board because people are still getting rid of him, as you can see, because they need other moves. So Josh Allen is still a buy low for week 10, but he's been a buy low since week 9. 100% love the trade. 2 and 7 need to make moves. My Bucky for ETN and Sutton. I would have done this news on Bucky today, and it's not really even news. It's just there's no news, really. It kind of diminishes value. You had an advantage point going into this week where there wasn't any news. Now he isn't doing anything yet. The no news has lowered his value. Like, at least people were wondering, maybe he's coming back this week. Let me trade for him now. But you sat on it, and now you're forced to now make a move you should have made already when you could have got Henry or Dowdle or Barkley or Genty, there's so many running backs you could have went and got, Jacobs and something, and now you have to go after a questionable ETN. And I like Sutton, but I just don't think this is enough. But at 2 and 7, do you have to make a move? You have to make a move, I guess. But bro, is ETN and Sutton really going to be that move for you, or are you going to get 11 points out of it, and then Bucky's back next week, and what did you do it for? Because you had to. I got to make a move. Do you? With this, I don't think you do. I think I'd rather have Bucky, but at the same time, if I could get Sutton into a slightly better player, I think I'd probably do it. I like ETN enough to contemplate that, but I don't know that I like that specific move. Dart, 7-2, Dart, Darnold, CMC, Kyron, Hall. Thank you for the super chat, by the way, though. Dart, Darnold, CMC, Kyron, Hall, Sharp, Singletary, JSM, Pickens, Egbuka, DK, Bowers, Gadsden. Any moves? Get rid of one of the tight ends, bro. One of the tight ends in DK, one of the tight ends and Hall for an upgrade. Go turn Hall and DK, or Hall and Gadsden. I'd probably keep Bowers, but Hall, Gadsden, and DK for one absolute savage running back like Cook or higher, or a potential JJ would be amazing to go get using Gadsden and DK, or Gadsden and Hall. So pretty easy, honestly. When I see people that have Gadsden and Bowers or Gadsden and McBride, I just scratch my head. Like, you've got very little time to execute upon a trade that gets rid of this excess of player value that you're just bleeding out in your lineup and not taking care of it using the tight end swap. Smitty, in the must-win game, are you rolling with Stafford or Baker this week? Man, I'd probably say Baker's higher risk, higher reward. I don't think Baker's not going to return to form. But I think Stafford, with all of his weapons, the way they're playing, the defense, everything, I think Stafford's probably the safer play. Baker's higher risk, higher reward. Stafford is safer. Plain and simple. It's not what you wanted to hear. I know it's a double talk answer, but it's unfortunately the way it is. Hey Smitty, 6-2, got CD, Chase, Rice on a bye, playing 5-3 team, currently starting London, Slayton, Parker, Washington, Achane, Cook. Would you trade CD plus Bucky for JJ and Javonte? I'm going to say no. I believe in CD Lamb that much that I think that as much as I love JJ, I do feel like JJ's kind of in like coast mode. He's like in cruise control. He's going to always do well. He's never doing what he's capable of doing because he's kind of just limited. CD's going to ball. Bucky will be back. I don't know. It's pretty close. Javonte should continue to do well. I do like Javonte. I think I'd probably say I'm going to hold and wait for Bucky, but it's preference and it's really close, to be honest. I don't think there's really a wrong answer. Trade my Franklin to get Loveland. If you need a tight end, easy move. If you need a wide receiver, I'd contemplate it, but I think you can get more from Loveland. So I'd say the Loveland side outweighs the Franklin side. 0.5, 1 flex, 6-3, Lamar, Chase, Igbuka, Pierce, Hunter, Dowdle, Hendy, Tootin, Gadsden. Thoughts? I like the team. Probably just going to let this one ride it out, bro. I don't know that if I could move like a Bill and Hampton with, Hunter or something, like, of course I'd do something, but like, you don't really have, you got Lamar, you got Chase, you got Buka, you got Dowdle. I don't think without touching those pieces, I don't think you can move much. Unless you were to move Gadsden and let's say Bill or Gadsden and Hampton to get that one running back like Jacobs or something. Undervalue Javonte, undervalue Jacobs. I would probably do that and go rogue at tight end, especially with Fannin being on waivers and so many leagues still. There's options. Loveland is I don't know why I get so many should I pick up Loveland. How did Loveland not get picked up in 99.99% of leagues this past offseason or this past Tuesday night? It's beyond me. So if you could go rogue at tight end and feel pretty good, Pitts got dropped, something like that, I could upgrade my running back through that type of avenue. My Jennings and Theo for Hendy and Addison. Hendy and Addison, not even close. Solomon, appreciate your super chat, young man. Thank you for the super chat. Solomon says, trade Sharps for Kamara. Probably, and then I try and flip Kamara real quick, but I don't know. If Sharps gets in there, he's better than Kamara, but he's just not in there yet. Might never be this season. We don't really know. Kamara, I know that he's been disappointing, but at least he's got some value, and you got some days left to make a trade. But, you might be able to cross-position trade pretty well using Kamara as a throw-in, like a total throw-in, my guy. Like a free, complete throw-in to just upgrade some wide receivers slightly. Galaxy, trade Addison for Diggs. I'd rather have, believe it or not, I'd rather have Addison, but very close. And Diggs can be so good. He really could be very good down the stretch, getting healthier. But I do like Addison a little bit more. But that's pretty close. Chat, vote on it. Diggs or Addison. Diggs has one bad game, people are going to fall off. At least Addison, we know how consistent he can be when he's getting the ball. McCarthy looks pretty good right now. So I'm gonna lean Addison, but I can imagine a lot of people liking Diggs. Traded my St. Brown. They're dead even. Traded my St. Brown, Benson, Sharps, Bigsby for Achane, Manungai, Sutton, Worthy. St. Brown, I'd probably rather have Achane, Sutton, Manungai. Team is now Josh. Yeah, I like that trade. I think that trade was just fine. Just traded Debo for Dobbs. I don't know, man. I don't think either. There's pros and cons to both sides. I don't think that trade did anything for anybody. I guess I'd maybe right now rather have Dobbs by a hair, so sure. But I don't know. That's tough. I mean, I do hope Debo still does something, but he's pretty hard to start right now. Dobbs, at least, is a wide receiver 3. You kind of getting what you're getting some decent value out of it. So I guess I'd say Dobbs. 4 and 5, 1-2 in a row. Stay put or trade. Stafford, Achane, Chase Brown, Monangai, RJ Harvey, Hampton, Woody, MHJ, Keenan, Travis Hunter, Gadsden, Kelsey. Probably trading one of the tight ends while you have time, bro, to upgrade Keenan Allen, to upgrade maybe Hampton, maybe Monangai. You could roll with Achane and Chase Brown and just go get a wide receiver to set next to MHJ. So definitely using that Monangai or Hampton or both with Keenan Allen or with Travis Hunter or with the tight end to get that one wide receiver, bro. That one wide receiver that is undervalued. Nico, Igbuka are the top dogs. Probably pretty hard to get. Adams, probably impossible to get at this point. Pickens is another still very good underrated player. Garrett Wilson with the limited tag today is probably going to scare some people, but again, it's Wednesday. $20 hauler from Thomas.
Super chat alert.
Thomas, appreciate you. Take advantage of that Garrett Wilson limited tag. The Wednesday limited injury tags are going to scare some people. Traded Dak and Pittman for JJ in Superflex. I have Baker, Purdy, Fields, and QB's rest of seasons. Traded Dak and Pittman for JJ in Superflex. Yeah, your quarterbacks, I mean, I'm fine with this. It's pretty even, though. I mean, Pittman's playing like a top 10 wide receiver, so it's not like the guy that got Dak and Pittman didn't make out. He did pretty well. He's a quarterback, and quite honestly, like, is it smart to trade Dak and Pittman for JJ? Not really on paper, but given you believe in these two quarterbacks, I suppose, if you do. I'm not sure I do fully, but if you do, I'm fine with you making a move that helps your lineup. But at the end of the day, it's like, this might be one of those trades that looks great, but then at the end of the day, you don't love it. I don't know. I love JJ. Superflex is complicated, Thomas, and Dak is a pretty good quarterback in Superflex. I think it's fine. If you get the right play out of Purdy or Fields, you'll be okay, and you'll actually score more points. But if Fields or Purdy fail you, then you'll regret it. But that's just the nature of a Superflex trade. This one here from Nunez. Appreciate you. What's up, Smitty? I was offered Bijan, Jettas, and Pickens for my Achane, Rice, and Lamb. Woo! Bijan, Jetta, and Pickens for Achane, Rice, and Lamb. I'd probably take Achane, Rice, and Lamb. Yeah, but barely. I mean, that is really close. But that's what I mean. All three of those guys rank so high for me. I'm not saying the other side doesn't, but Pickens does fall below. But it's tough, bro. Give me the three monsters with Achane being the lowest. Get Josh Allen for Knicks and Higgins. Yes, I would do that. Still have Rice, Booker, London, Garrett Wilson. You're loaded. Easy smash. Don't even hesitate on that. I am seeing a lot of Bucky negativity, and again, earmuffs to anybody that's doing it, saying it, speaking it, writing it, because I don't want you to be offended by what I'm about to say. So please put earmuffs on if you've been negative toward Bucky or are continuing to be negative toward Bucky. I don't want to offend you. Earmuffs on? Okay. Guys, again, there's two types of people in this world. Those that own Bucky now and that are freaking out, and those that don't own Bucky, they can go buy Bucky from those freaking out owners. Now, I've already told you, if you own Bucky, I've said it for 2.5, 3, maybe even 3 weeks. Trade him. Instead of sitting and waiting for him, you trade for a Rico. That window's closed. I said do it all last week and the week prior. Go get Rico Dowdle, and now you're sitting here without Bucky doing anything again. And as I said, walking into this week, there's a chance that it feels like Bucky's not going to necessarily be ready. I'm not saying he still can't play this week, but it is trending even more likely that he sits one more week. And you sat on holding Bucky when I said, go get Henry, go get Barkley, go get Dowdle, go get Jacobs and something, go get Genty, go get Henry. It was so easy to replace Bucky. But that's a whole different conversation. Those are for the people with the earmuffs on right now. I already screamed at them yet left and right all week long. Trade Bucky. Trade Bucky. Go get somebody safer. Doesn't matter. If Bucky ends up being great, good. You both make out in the trade. Go get something you'll love. These earmuff people that are sitting there going like this, Smitty, we ready yet? No, keep them on. Keep on the earmuffs. Give me one more minute. Those of you that don't own Bucky, go take advantage of the earmuff mofos that sat on him and are freaking out and panicking now on a Wednesday. Bucky's so cheap right now. Bucky's going to win leagues for people that go acquire him now. Two types of people in this world. Those that don't own Bucky, you go get him cheap and you win a league. And those that have hung on to him and they're losing because they didn't get out and go get points instead of sitting and waiting and waiting and waiting. You can take them off. Fallon, appreciate you. Get Josh Allen, do it live. Sports, appreciate your 20 motherfreaking dollar hauler.
Super chat alert.
It's my boy. It's my boy. 12-team PPR, 2 flex, 6 and 3, make a trade offer or stand down. Well, you know it's going to be even funnier when these people come trickling in, like a couple weeks from now when we're like, Bucky to the moon, he's doing great, Bucky to the moon. Somebody's going to come in and go, Smitty, this is the same guy that was telling you to trade Bucky. Now he's acting like he loves Bucky because you don't watch the show. You don't understand me. You don't understand trade, adjust, adapt. You don't understand that in week 6, Bucky or a player might be great. In week 7, 6, 7, they might not be great. Didn't mean to do that. 6, 7, 6. The kids are doing it. Can't we have fun with it? Can't we pretend we understand it? 6, 7. It's doing mashed potatoes. 7. Yeah, buddy. Um, 12-team PPR, 2 flex, 6, 3, 6 and 3. Make a trade or stand down. Mahomes, JJM, Henry, Harvey, Henderson, Monangai, Jamar, Garrett Wilson, Jamo, Hunter, Bowers. I like the squad. I don't know that there's a lot of movability here. I guess if somebody needed a quarterback, you can try and shop JJM. I don't know if that'll work. Monangai or Hampton with maybe... Yeah, I don't think there's not much to do here. I don't want you moving Jamar. I would move Garrett Wilson and Hampton. Garrett Wilson and Monangai. But the problem with that is even though those aren't like amazingly deep or secure pieces for the down the stream weeks. I mean, Monangai should be, but we don't have a guarantee. Garrett Wilson's been banged up. Like, I still love both of them. But, like, let's say you traded Garrett Wilson and Monangai for JJ or Nico or Henry or Barkley. Then all of a sudden you're really hurting at the other wide receiver positions. But I'd go Jamar Chase, Jamo, and a rogue wide receiver if I could get Barkley or Jacobs or Henry or Bucky into one of this running back spot next to Henry. You got Henry already. Next to Henry. You get my point. So I guess I would entertain a Garrett Wilson and Monangai because I believe in you could also bank on Harvey or Hendy. You could put Harvey in there right now next to Henry. Go get JJ using Garrett Wilson and Monangai. Go get Nico. Go get a wide receiver like Ibuka. Go get Lamb. Lamb's never going to be cheaper. I'm not saying Lamb can be had for Garrett Wilson and Monangai in every scenario, but I promise you there are people doing that more often and frequent than you think. I think I'd be okay with that. You're just balancing out the value a little bit. We holding on. Thank you for the $20 hauler. That's what I'd do. I would contemplate that. We holding on or trading Mahomes, Penix, London, Ibuka, Garrett Wilson, Debo, Hunter, Bucky, Hendy, Harvey, Sharps. Not much you can do with Bucky now unless you're able to get one of these running backs that we keep talking about. But, you know, if you go after, let's say, a Jacobs, I think you can maybe get more, maybe not. Hard to say. But I think, trading Bucky now is going to be even harder. So I don't know that you can do it. I think you had to do it earlier. And if you didn't, you're unfortunately, you had your earmuffs on, Mike, earlier when we were talking about this. But unfortunately, you're just going to have to probably hold now. Unless you can try and pull off one of these trades still and somebody's still excited about Bucky. But you got to wait on Bucky. Bucky's going to eventually win leagues. Problem is, will your team be one of those teams, or are you going to be too far behind? I think your wide receivers are fantastic. Your quarterback is awesome. Best in the league. And your wide receiver room, it's great. I mean, maybe Debo, trade Debo and Hendy, Debo and Sharps. Maybe trade one of your tight ends. Trade Kelsey. He's kind of been pretty solid. How about Debo, Kelsey, and Bucky for one monster running back upgrade? Try that. I don't know about monster running back upgrade. I guess I should just say one of these players. Like, you could get a Barkley bye week free using Bucky and throw in Kelsey. You have to overpay right now. You probably take that chance. You go get Genty for Bucky. You got to throw in Fannin, or you got to throw in Debo. You do that, Mike. Those are the moves. Those are the best moves for your team to try and survive without tearing it all down. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate you. Greek, 0.5. I give Puka, BTJ, and Tracy. I get Chase and Flowers. I'd probably take Chase and Flowers, but it's pretty even. I don't think one side's crushing the other. Do you trust Puka or do you trust Joe Flacco? Is kind of what you're weighing out. You trust Puka to stay healthy? Do you trust Joe Flacco to stay healthy? I think I'll bank on Chase, but hard to say. Close. Rice for Collins and Kyron Dowdle. This is, I don't know why you guys use slashes. I don't know why. Who the hell knows what you're even saying here? Because slash doesn't mean the same to everybody. Rice for Collins plus Kyron Dowdle. I assume this is an or, but you guys use these slashes in different ways every single question. I have no idea what in the hell you're asking me. Just spell it out, Dieter. Just spell it out. And when these combos and alternates and ifs, ors are make it tough. Rice for Collins and Kyron, or Rice for Collins and Dowdle is what I'm thinking you're saying here. But again, I would say give me Nico and Dowdle or Nico and Kyron all day long for Rice. I love Rice, love him. But if I could get Nico and Dowdle or Nico and Kyron, I'd take it. Would I take Dowdle? I'd probably take Dowdle by a hair right now. By a hair. I love Kyron, though, but Dowdle could be top 5 this year. He's D'Angelo Williams. We don't know what's in store for his future. Could be a one-hit wonder. He's going to be 28 years old next year. He is maybe D'Angelo Williams. He is maybe a top 5 running back in one singular season, and then he falls into the abyss. Who knows? I'm not saying I'm not intrigued in Dynasty, but he certainly gives off that I'm maybe here for 1 year as one of the best running backs in fantasy, and then you're going to all draft me high, and then I'm going to fail you, but doesn't matter. Doesn't matter for now. Doesn't, because now Dowdle's on the rise. Right now, Dowdle is. Right now, Dowdle's doing it live. The definition of doing it live. Knicks or Caleb? Knicks. Also start to Sutton, Devontae Smith, Henderson, or ETN. Probably going to go with Sutton and ETN for me. I might switch it to Henderson once and if we get the news that Ramondre's out and we hear any sort of positivity about Henderson's role or how happy that Vrabel was. He did great. Like something like that is going to make me, I think, go Henderson ETN. I think ETN's still getting a massive amount of touches. Now, in full PPR is the safest play Sutton and Devontae Smith maybe. So if you want safety, maybe in PPR you go that route. But trade Bijan for Hurts. I'm 6-3. Need a QB. If this is a one QB league, I'm sorry. This is for your own good, but let me reread this. Maybe it's Superflex. I don't think it is. Vic, I understand. This is the part that I don't get when people say, "But I need it." But I need it. Like, it doesn't matter what you need. The fair market value is Hurts getting drafted number 1 overall in a 1 QB. Last I heard, Hurts is in the 3rd, 4th round. Even if we're drafting today, Hurts is in the 3rd or 4th round. Doesn't matter what you need. Hurts is this a super flex? Am I wrong here? It is super flex. There it is. It's in the middle of his damn message. Let me fix this for you. Hold on. Super flex. Yes, I probably would. Damn, Vic. Tell me in the beginning, bro. Trade Bijan for Hurts. 6-3. Need a QB. Super flex. I fixed it for you. Got love Geno. You don't have a great quarterback play, though. So this makes sense. Genty, Warren. It sucks losing Bijan. And I know from a 1 QB perspective, people are watching and they're like, damn, man. Smitty, a lap. I don't know, Shiat. Because you can't put Superflex in the middle of the... You're not even spelling it out. SPLX in the middle of the damn chat. You got to do it. You're again, same concept, but from the different angle. You're in a super flex. Does Hurts go 1, 2, 3, or 4 or 5? Yes. So very easy decision. If it's 1 QB, hell no. But that is a super flex. Thank you. Abbreviation city, unordered, unorganized city. Jamar Pickens for CD Judkins or Jamar for Gibbs. Let me scan and make sure this isn't a super flex or a 0 running back. Okay. Jamar Pickens for CD Judkins. I would take CD Judkins without much of a hesitation, or Jamar for Gibbs. I like the Gibbs thing too, but give me CD and Judkins all day. CD Judkins is the best option on this in this message. That's all the super chats. Thank you guys for the super chats. Appreciate all you. I don't know if the phone line is going to work, but those of you that have the number can dial in. I don't think I'm going to put it up. I'm only going to take a couple calls. We'll be back at 8 p.m. This super chat from Husseini says, trade my Rashad White and Sutton for Buka. I definitely would do that. Bucky owner is panicking. 100%. Husseini, that's a great trade. Do that trade. You do that trade. Is this the league where you're trying to get W's and you're playing from behind? That's fantastic, man. I can't win with JJ. Should I take him for MHJ and Rice? Opponent has Puka and Buka. Can't win with JJ. Should I take him for MHJ Rice? Can't win with JJ. Should I take him for... What is it? What are you saying? Take him for what? A ride? What are we doing here? Do you mean trade him? Do I trade him for MHJ and Rice? I would take... I probably would take... If you need a change, I would take Rice and MHJ without much of a hesitation. Yeah, that's an easy call. I mean, I'd rather have Rice than JJ, period. Kyron, Kelsey for Judkins, Bowers. What do you think I'm going to say, Jay? I like Judkins and Kyron even, and Bowers absolutely owns Kelsey. So you're winning maybe both sides of that trade. Devontae Smith or Diggs. Pretty even. Trust your gut on that one. That's a dice roll, crapshoot. Total even, Steven. If Swift plays, play him or ETN or Henderson. If Swift plays, I'm playing probably ETN for now unless we get Henderson news. And when we get Henderson news, that makes us want to change that. This is a $20 hauler from Dylan.
Alert.
Dylan,
Super chat
appreciate
alert.
you. Caller, just hang tight for me real quick. Oh, I guess he hung up. Dylan traded Flacco and Tyler Warren for Mahomes and Kelsey. Flacco, I'm fine with that trade. I need to go 3-1 to make the playoffs in a full PPR. Do I make any moves? Mahomes, Achane, Henry, Jaylen Warren. Jaylen Warren's tradable right now. Hampton, Jaylen Warren. Love the team, actually. Assuming you don't need to start any more players like Rice, Ibuka, Dunze are your starters, and Henry and Achane are your running backs and Mahomes. If that's your lineup, I think you're pretty good. But I would probably try and trade like a Jaylen Warren, BTJ, Kelsey for an upgraded tight end, or Loveland. Like if you could, I don't think you could get Bowers anymore, but McBride, Tyler Warren, I would do a trade like that. But if you could start another player outside of Dunze and Henry, like if Warren or BTJ is a starter, then I would try and combine those, consolidate Jaylen Warren with Kelsey or Loveland and or Hampton and or BTJ to get one player like Pickens or Jacobs, Genty, Javante. Those are all cheaper than they should be players. And then trade Bucky and Tyler Warren for Bowers. I'd try and get Bowers in something, but I definitely like where that's headed. I just think you deserve to get one extra piece, like a J-Mo, Harvey, Hendy, something like that, I think. And then the caller, just hang tight real quickly. Mute yourself. I'll be right with you. 12-team PPR, Genty, Judkins, Woody, Monangai, CD, Rice, MHJ, Buka, Wilson, Fannin, Loveland, Dak. Where do I upgrade? Well, if you can't start all those wide receivers, you're trading one of them. You're probably trading MHJ or Wilson, keeping the other three. And it's possible that you upgrade. Who's your quarterback? Dak. You could go to Mahomes, or you could try and upgrade Genty, even though I love him. But you could get a potential. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but you could get one of these, Barkley, or potentially one of these monsters in this box right here. So it's not the easiest thing to do, but man, Genty and a Wilson might get you a JT from somebody sleeping at the wheel, an Achane, a Gibbs, a Bijan, a Cook. You got to try. You know, I've seen worse things happen. I've seen people throw away their teams when in panic with injuries, buys, and just their record being bad. So you don't know until you try. For people that say no one's going to do that, don't listen to what they're saying. I see it every day, every hour. It makes me so frustrated when someone doesn't do a trade because they read somebody else's comment that says no one's going to do that. The person that says no one's going to do that, the world doesn't revolve around them. Every year, answer this question out loud. Every year, does somebody make a bad trade that you scratch your head and say, what? In your league? The answer is yes. So I don't want to hear that doesn't happen. And I have Diggs as two flex. Should I trade Chase Brown for Sutton or stick with Brown? Stick with Brown. I have Nico, Dunze, Dowdle, Bijan, Henry in the other spots. Yeah, I love Chase Brown, bro. I love Chase. Chase Brown is back. He's back, and he looks fantastic, and he's angry. He's upset. He's upset at his defense. He's like, he started swearing and cussing, saying, like, take care of your job. Do your job. I'm out doing my job. Do your job. Talking to his defense. And I like that. Jamar Chase did it too. And then last super chat, then the phone caller. I'm sorry about the wait. Do I trade Henry for Judkins? Do I trade Henry for Judkins and Nico? I don't know about this Judkins character. But I'd do it for Judkins and Nico. Hell to the yeah, bro. That would be one of the easiest questions I've had all day. But Judkins, I don't know who the hell that is. Bijan Odunze for Gibbs in London. Give me Gibbs in London, not even close. And then this one right here. Should I trade London, Bucky, Rashad White, Mason, Fannin for Achane, Judkins, Pittman, and Kelsey? I'd take, London, Bucky. Let's see. Achane. I'd take Achane, Judkins, Pittman. Pittman's been playing great ball. You get two players there. Bucky's unknown, even though I like trading for Bucky, not there. 415, you're live. And actually, I might need to switch the speaker over. Hold on a second. 415, just hang tight. I can't hear you. You can hear me. I just need to switch this over. And once this is switched, I will be able to hear you. Go ahead. I can hear you now. What can I do for you?
Okay. You opened your show about loyalty to teams, and being from San Francisco, born and raised and all that. I used to follow the 49ers. But what I did learn in playing fantasy football now in my 49th year is you can't let the loyalty of that team cloud your judgment as far as picking your players and stuff. So I just thought it was interesting that you opened your show up like that.
I mean, yeah, I think that goes without saying. You know, you should never, ever draft based on loyalty to a team, for sure.
Yeah, I agree. And I thought that was a good point that you brought up. And I am a Bucky owner. I do have a pretty good stable of running backs.
Probably has a lot of Niners.
You know, and if he doesn't play, I push him into my IR, and then I use the extra spot to pick somebody up for the week.
Yeah. Bucky's a tough player to own right now. I mean, I
understand, you know, but like I said, I'm in a somewhat of a grandma league, and I'm also in a league that just doesn't trade. So I've learned to weather the storm in this league that I play in for the last several years. So.
Yeah. All right, bro. Appreciate it. Anything else?
But that's it. No, that's it. Just want to touch bases with you. Just kind of acknowledge that thing about don't be loyal to your local team or your home team when you're doing fantasy football.
All right, man.
For the long run.
All right. Appreciate you.
Okay. Take care.
All right. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you guys on some of these Bucky situations. It's just, you know, and that's the other thing too, is there's a lot of loyalty around holding Bucky, and there shouldn't have been. It's like Dowdle, Barkley, Judkins, Henry, Genty. They've all been sitting there, capable of being traded for. And as much as we want to say, oh, we're on the Bucky train, we want to hit the Bucky button once he's back, and he will be back, and Bucky will be delivering goodness. But the people that have held on to him and haven't done the right maneuvering, if you're 2 wins, 3 wins, and you're waiting on him, and now you got to wait another week, you're going to watch Bucky thrive, and you're not going to make the playoffs. And that's the kind of the catch-22 with Bucky this year. This one here from the weather. Traded Buka and Dobbins for Lamb and Knight. Traded Buka and Dobbins. Give me Lamb all day. All day, my boy. Not even close. And I love Buka. You know I love Buka. You can't let your biases take over. Need help. 10-man PPR. Rice, Lamb, Buka, Debo, Jackson, Smith, and Jigba, and Jigaba. Harvey, Henderson, Bucky, Nix, Caleb, Gittert, Tyler, Warren. Again, Dan, I don't know what's more disappointing. The fact that you listing this all out of order, and I don't know what to make of it. Rice, Lamb, Buka, Debo, Jackson, Smith, and Jigba. The disrespect you show to Jackson, Smith, and Jigba to list him as your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5th ranked player. Spell his, absolutely botch his name. Put him as your 4th or 5th ranked player behind Debo Samuel. Or the fact that what do you do with this team? At this point, it's like, look, your receivers are so unbelievable. You're 3-6. You're the one candidate that should have traded Bucky while you could, and now you're stuck with him. But I think your wide receivers are probably keeping you afloat, and they should continue to. Now, would I trade Debo? Now, you probably wouldn't have to give up Debo. And I don't care anymore. Debo's not playing well. And I don't even know if Debo does anything in terms of trade value. But you'll probably have to get rid of Goddard and or Debo to get Bucky turned into a safer player like Judkins, Barkley, Henry. Jacobs might be your get out of jail free card potentially, bro. And I'm not saying get rid of Bucky for nothing. I love Bucky. If you think you can weather through this week and win, like looking at the matchup and the guy's got tons of buys, I guess wait one more week for Bucky. I do not sell him low. I have Tyler Warren. It's a good team, though. Your receivers are off the hook. I'd say if Bucky comes back to form in 1 week or this week, you're a 8.5 out of 10. Your team's phenomenal. I have Tyler Warren and McBride trying to upgrade at running back 1. He wants Warren and someone for either Saquon, Javonte, or Henry. My options he wants to include are, you're not including Buka. You're not including Chase Brown. Higgins is fine. You want to trade Tyler Warren and Higgins for a Saquon or a Derrick Henry. I'd probably rather take Saquon. I would do that. Tyler Warren and Higgins for Saquon. I try and get something back. I have Warren and McBride. Yeah. So Tyler Warren and Higgins for Saquon. It makes sense for you, bro, with McBride. It truly does. It's a fine deal. I just try and get something back. Like maybe he's got JMO. Maybe he's got Hendy. Maybe he's got, I forget if you did. Maybe he's got somebody like that, you know, that he can throw in. Weather Dog says traded Buka and Dobbins for Lamb and Knight. I already did that one. Yeah, I love, like I said, I love Buka, but I'm taking Lamb. I don't care about Bam Knight though. I have Tyler Warren and McBride trying to upgrade. I already did that one. Okay, I think we're caught up here. Okay. Guys, I'll be back for the 8 p.m. show, which is in roughly 2 hours from now. So I'll see you all at 8 p.m. Eastern, like we always do it. Don't forget to play Underdog. Play $5, get 100 on Underdog. That link is pinned in the live chat. I'm going to drop it one more time in the live chat. Boom, there it is. Don't forget to join the 24/7, 365 live chat Patreon group, where you can get 24/7, 365 advice from the amazing chat that you see in the live stream right here. The same people, essentially. Great, amazing, helpful people. That is the link that I just dropped in the live chat. So please join the revolution, which is the live chat 24/7, $10 a month, cancel anytime Patreon group that I'm a part of. Travis is a part of. Everybody you see, we're all in there just mingling around all day, 365, 24/7, especially during games. See you at 8 p.m. Balake, I see your message here. Thank you for the 24-month membership. Would you take is it Jamo Williams, Javonte Williams? You botched your own question, Balake. Way to go, Balake. Way to go, Balake. You got one chance to shine. You got one 24-month membership question to pop, and you end up just crapping the bed. Jamo Williams, Javonte Williams. I assume it's Javonte. Javonte or Judkins plus BTJ. I'd rather have Judkins and BTJ over Javonte anyway. So, hold on. We got Scuba Steve calling in. Scuba, I'm on the way out the door. You got 10 seconds.
I wonder if I could run this trade by you.
Real quickly. You got 10 seconds. Go. You got 8 seconds.
All right, hang on, Smitty. I got the trade ready. So this guy
5 seconds.
wants to send me JT and Nico for Kyron, Brees Hall, and Nabuka.
JT and Nico Collins for Kyron, Ibuka, and who?
Brees Hall.
Kyron, Buka, Hall, JT Nico. I take JT Nico.
Yep.
Arguable, but
yep.
I mean, come on. Let's go. Nico to me still has top 10 wide receiver upside. Easy, like more than top 10. Like he's playing outside that. I get it, but it's Nico. I believe in him. Brees Hall's, who knows what you're going to get. I love Ibuka. Kyron I love, but you're giving me JT and Nico. I'm taking JT Nico. All right, Scuba. Appreciate you calling tonight. We'll be back at 8 p.m.
All right, thank you. I'll tell you my team at 8 so that before because I'll call you up later.
Thanks. See you, Scuba. All right. Balake, again, I'd probably take Judkins and BTJ. I'm trading BTJ, though. I don't know that anybody's going to take him. Maybe you can pay someone to take him. But I'd rather have Judkins over Javonte, so that alone makes it an easy call, Balake. All right, see you all at 8 p.m. Eastern. Appreciate every single one of you. Yeah, Balake, get on over to the Patreon, bro. Here's that link to the Patreon. 24/7, as Travis said, get on over to the Patreon. I'll pin that link on the way out the door. I'm telling you, Balake, there's nothing like getting 24/7. It's $10 a month. Cancel anytime, Balake. I mean, anybody out there going, should I do it? It's $10. Maybe forego one iced coffee or maybe a triple stack McDonald's quarter pounder, whatever. Just forego one time and just try it. And then if you don't like it, you can cancel it. But $10 a month, and you get there, you get to mingle with us. Even if you didn't do anything throughout the week, but you got in there on game day, just to chat with your buddies. See you at 8 p.m. Jahmyr Gibbs' workload divide has a megawatt offload that if you compartmentalize the component conjunction timekeeper and you flux capacitor out the continuum component megabolt, things just end up happening. And that's why Jahmyr Gibbs is a top 5 to 10 running back instead of top 6 to 10.
A-Chan. A-Chan is the man. His haters call him small.
But he is 9 feet tall.
A-Chan.
Your Bijan card has been revoked.
Greg slipping one in at the end there. Greg says guy wants to trade my wide receiver 1 for his running back 1. Okay, that's helpful. I have London, Lamb, Pickens, Buka, Rice. He has Judkins, Genty, Swift, Marks, and Harvey. What trade do I do? Well, I mean, are you telling me that what he wants to do is your wide receiver 1, so Lamb, and you're telling me he wants to give you his running back 1, which is Judkins? I would say no. I'd say negative, Ghost Rider. Would I take Judkins and Genty for Lamb and like another running back you didn't list? I don't know. I mean, Judkins, I'd probably say, bro, you got to take... I mean, I wouldn't even give him Buka for Judkins. I like Buka that much. But I suppose you could do that trade more straight up. So maybe something along the lines of, you could go Buka and a running back you didn't list for Genty and Judkins, or Buka for Judkins, but get something maybe back. I don't know. Buka and Judkins are pretty close. I guess I'd be okay with that one. Preferably like to give him Pickens, but I don't give him London, I don't give him Lamb, I don't give him Rice. And if I give him Buka, I almost want to make it a 2 for 2 that I like. All right, I'm out of here. Is Dowdle okay? Watch the stream, Mikey. We cover it. It's Wednesday. Everyone's limited, bro. Go see you at 8 p.m., 6 p.m. Arizona time. I believe that's 5 p.m. California time now. And 8 p.m. Eastern, which is what the show always is. Eastern. See you all at 8 p.m. Eastern.